Now Abraham had 2 wives, and these things were symbolism. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia and corresponds to Jerusalem, which is in bondage with her children. But the Jerusalem which is above is the mother of us all. So the Hagar corresponds to the old Jerusalem. It was an old covenant. Okay? Now, when it's written, rejoice, O barren, you did not bear, break forth and shout. You were not in labor, for the desolate has more children than she who has a husband. Now, this is the prophetic word. God is saying that even though Sarah's womb was barren and Hagar produced a son, God is saying to the Sarai, God is saying to the rightful wife, you rejoice. You rejoice. You rejoice. Because out of your womb is going to come children, and the children that will be born of you is going to be more than she who has a husband. You understand me here? It's a prophetic word. It's a prophetic word to all who have been barren in the spirit, all those who have not born forth, all those who prayed for years for something to happen. You see, let me tell you something. When you're waiting on something that's born of God, sometimes you have to go through a little test of your faith. Sometimes it requires a little more time. Ishmael is going to be born before Isaac, but Ishmael will not inherit the promise. So if you have a son or daughter that you're really praying over and you're going through some fire, stay on it. Usually the promise of God is on that one that seems to be given to the children. Are you understanding me here? Are you understanding me here? And so, so Sarah had to wait. Now we brethren, as Isaac was, are children of the promise. But as he was born according to the flesh, then persecuted him who was born according to the Spirit, even so now it is. Now, there are other writings, for example, like the book of Joshua, which is not in the Old Testament canon that gives stories. Now, Ishmael was born 14 years ahead of Isaac. But the story in the book of Joshua is that when Isaac was 5 years old, that Ishmael and himself were sitting together. And that Ishmael had become an archer, he had become a hunter. Okay? God bless Ishmael, but his blessing was restricted. He could not be the one through the promise would come. Okay? And Ishmael had an arrow, he was going to release that arrow in the head of Isaac. And at that time, Sarai saw it, and she called to Abraham, and she said, get rid of this woman and his son. And therefore you find the scripture occurred, get rid of the bondwoman and her son. Because when the true son is born, the focus is going to be shifted to the promise and not, I don't want to say outside the running, but say let you watch. The focus. You have to remember now that Hagar was not just an outside woman, she was almost like a legal wife. Are you understanding me here? But the promise was not going to come through her. Now, one of the things that I want to deal with is you have to know the relationships in your life. Is it a Hagar or is it a Sarai relationship? That's what you're going to ask me. Because Hagar, Hagar represents the old covenant. Hagar represents the law. Are you understanding me here? And let me say this. There are soul ties that we have in our lives that will not bring forth the child of promise. Abraham, when he was a husband to Hagar, his name was not Abraham, it was Abraham. He did not mean father of many nations. It is only when he had Isaac with Sarah, it is then that his name changed to Abraham. Who you covenant with determines the scope of your influence. You understand me? Hagar may satisfy you in bed, but Hagar cannot give you Ishmael. They'll give you Isaac now. And so Ishmael, less as he was limited. Understanding what I'm saying here? Now Sarai, or who became Sarah, she was the woman to bring forth the son. It seemed impossible. God sometimes puts, when God's about to build something in the earth, he defies the possibility of the earth. He defies the limits of human possibility. How many of you have to wait on a promise in your life or something? How many have to wait? You know what I'm talking about? Hello? Listen, if the flesh could produce it, more likely than not, it's not God. It's a hard statement. If the flesh could make it work, it leaves out the principle of the supernatural. When God wants to birth something, He involves that which is supernatural. Now, let me proceed. I want to explain. Nevertheless, what does the scripture say? Cast out the bottom under the sun. Now, this is important. Now, two covenants cannot operate at the same time. Abraham could not be in relationship with Hagar and be in relationship with Sarah at the same time. Now, when God wants to birth something in your life, there are some things that you just have to cut off. Some things that have been put out. Now we talk about physical people here, but you have to understand what is meant. What is meant. Hagar represents the law. She represents the old Jerusalem. She represents the animal sacrifices. She represents legalism. She represents the mentality that said that God is only going to bless me if I do this, and God's going to curse me if I do that. Understand what I'm saying? As long as you have that mentality in your head, you are still fellowshipping with Hagar. And that is a soul tie. Let me tell you something. Religion is like a marriage. When I got saved, I went to a Pentecostal church. Listen to me carefully. Listen again. It was like I was married to the church. I was married to all its doctrine. I was married to all its songs. I was married to its preaching. I was married to what the preacher said, hallelujah, when he shouted. I was married to all the services that they had. And if I was not in church at night, I felt like backslid. You understand what I'm saying? That marriage was like a soul tie. It affected me, you know. It affected me so much so that I felt that if I was driving my car and for some reason the yellow light turned red on me while I was in the middle, I had to repent of my sins. Because I was taught that if you sin and Jesus come and the rapture come, you will be left behind. I did not know that in the process I was being left behind. I was taught that if you serve God for 99 years faithfully, and then one day you make a mistake, probably your wife gets your best, and you just spoke to her in tongues, unfortunately. At that moment, if your heart failed you and you died, you're going to hell. Have you heard that? In fact, I've done funerals for saints who served God for years and years and years. And my brother woke up and said, I hope you make it in. If you serve God for all these years, and then you hope you make it in, your salvation is not secure. But we were married to that kind of thing. That is Hagar. It became a soulish thing. And I said, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. As a Pentecostal, I was very, very fervent. You could not be more holy than me. I was more holy than God. More holy than Jesus. Understand what I'm saying? I would not even eat fruit cake because they didn't put some Charlie's wine inside. I'm serious. Yes. I'm telling you, I would wear black and after white. Black and white. Gunmouth pants. Tin black tie. Skinny like a whip. And now you know I came out of Hagar. But let me tell you, that was a soul tie. It is a dysfunctional relationship. People become dysfunctional. Religion has made monsters out of people. And I can go on and tell it, because out of that, we have motivated people to do stuff. Religion, people almost divorce their senses. They do things that are unseemly. Are you with me here? I became enemies of my own family in the name of religion. I did not attend their parties. Well, go talk about the get-togethers. Well, I did not attend it. They wanted to know what is wrong with my Jesus or wrong with me. I became an enemy of everybody. I would walk around pleading the blood. You're taking that taxi, plead the blood of the secret. You won't sit there and demon might have said that. Serious stuff. It was a marriage. I was married to religion. But a day came when I met Sarah. Are you following me? Love will make you do strange things. I met Sarah. And let me tell you something. The day came when I met Christ in a whole different relationship. I found out that God was not after my performance, He was after my heart. He was not after my doings, He was after my being. He was not after, if I went to cinema or not. He was after what's going on inside of my heart. Amen. It didn't matter where I was. I am the temple of God. That God was more interested in my motives than in my behavior. And that day, I broke with Hagar. When I broke with Hagar, all Hagar children get vexed with me. They write me off. They say, "You're going mad. You're going crazy." He left Pentecost. Oh, Jesus. And you understand my idea? And that's what some of you had that same experience. So you came to apostolic signatures and you got introduced to Sarah rather than Hagar. And you go back home and Hagar come and God say, "You forget me? You forget you're supposed to do some similitude. You forget you're supposed to make the sign of the cross and sprinkle water and sprinkle salt." There's still people doing those kinds of craziness. Put yourself, you want to keep the devils out of your yard, get some salt and sprinkle it in your yard. After I'm going to put the salt in your yard, put it inside your pot and cook your food with it. You need a prayer cloth, you need a shovel, you need a, oh God, have mercy. Are you understanding me here? That eliminates the principle of faith. That is not Sarah, that is Hagar. That's an old covenant. Are you getting that message? You see, let me tell you something. We still have these dysfunctional things. Could you imagine what's happening in Abraham's heart? Because his wife said to him, going to Hagar. She said, obviously God will bless me. Listen, there's human drama involved in the building of the purpose of God. And he goes into Hagar. And he forms a relationship with this woman after he met when the child is 14 years old. For 14 years he's been having sex with this woman. Well, that's it. You know something? All of a sudden now Sarah comes in. Get this woman! You ought to break that. And anybody who's broken a situation that knows what goes on inside of you, you see how silent you are. Alright. Say, go on, Bridget. No, you've got to deal with, you see, we're living in a day of dysfunctional relationships. We live in a day of dysfunctionality. And one of the reasons we cannot give ourselves totally to Sarah is because we're still hooked up with Hagar. Are you understanding me here? We live in a day with multiple relationships. Most people, when they get married, they've been through at least 10 relationships. Jesus hadn't noticed the silence. That ain't good. So if you say that ain't good, tell your neighbor, say that ain't good. It's hard for me to say, but that ain't good. You're not good. Stop and think. Sila. Think. Are you understanding me here? Amen. It is better for your own conscience to see now dysfunctionality goes along. One of the dysfunctionalities, let me just deal with this right here, is the addiction to pornography. I mean, Lord said angels here now. And Lord have it. And you thought, I was just talking, this week, Sarah and I have some good conversations all the time. And he's doing law now. We're discussing the crime situation. In fact, they talk a lot about the laws. And we're discussing it. And I was saying to them, one of the things that has happened is that the society has been so inundated with pornography. It has dehumanized it. It has made them insensitive to the value of another human being. Pornography is a crime against your mind. Because you disrespect a woman's body. You disrespect a man's body. Hello? 1, 2, 3. And you after only one thing, your satisfaction. And you find that if that will satisfy you, something else will satisfy you. Do it in a different style, in a different one. Do it with an animal next time. You understand? Listen, this, and that's why, I mean, in Trinidad, I was able to understand. You have, well, I'm going live on the internet. You have people coming to this country to have sex with children. You understand what I'm saying here? It is disgusting. And if you find yourself attracted to little children in a profane way, you better come. I have a whole bottle of oil I will pour on you and cast the devil out of you. It is abnormal. It is abnormal. And you know what that does for you? If your mind is seeing this thing all the time, it takes away the value of human life. And then when you don't see value in human life, you can shoot that, you can kill them. Are you understanding here? So it makes you insensitive. One of the things you have to do to stop crime among young people is to stop all this pornographic influence. You have to shut down certain websites. Are you understanding me here? Oh my God, Robert. I'm serious here. Put some filters, shut it down. I hope you come back to this next week. Are you understanding me here? Because you don't want to mind that your child to be exposed to it. But it's too much, it's too accessible now. Oh God, have mercy. And so with Sarah, now, let me talk about it. They did an experiment some time ago with some rats. They put some rats inside a cage and they exposed them to drinks, different kinds of drinks. They put them in a cage with water and the rats drank the water, and then they introduced cocaine inside the cage. And the rats started to like the cocaine. They went after the cocaine. And they found out that they were going after the cocaine more than the water. So they said, well, this is just like humans. Cocaine, and the conclusion is that cocaine is addictive. Oh, we blame the cocaine. And then they did something different. Somebody came up with a brilliant idea. Let's make the life of the rats more sociable. Let's put a play bar. Let's put some ball. Let's put some other rats that socialize. And what happened to their amazement? The rats tasted the cocaine, but they got so occupied in their social life, they forgot the cocaine. And we told them to drink the water. In other words, you see, we are creatures that were created to bond. All of us here are created to bond. All of us want relationship, am I right? All of us love, all of us need to be hugged and kissed, am I right? Stop lying to me, you Christian. All of us, we are created that way. Now, so Jay? Yes, we are created that way. Now, and knowing that, you need to know how to manage yourself. Don't go after the cocaine. Get a normal life. Get a functional life. You see, and this is what the new covenant is all about. The new covenant is about giving you back your life. Jesus have mercy. The new covenant is out of outwards of your heart. So that, you see, when I came into the church, they told me, don't go to cinema, don't go to movies, don't talk to girls, don't eat pork, don't eat that, don't go to weddings, don't talk to people who... I had more don'ts than do's. Thank God you were not in that time. Understand what I'm saying here? So I gave hope to the cocaine. You see, I mean, are you understanding what I'm saying here? But I found that this faith occurs from my heart, that this faith flows out of inside of me. My relationship with God is not contingent upon the cinema or the movies or going to a wedding. Are you understanding? I didn't lose my righteousness when I talked to a sinner. Then I began to enjoy life. Anybody here? Are you following me here? And then I began to flow. In other words, I began to be regulated from the inside. And somebody said, wait a minute, if you give people the liberty to go to the movies and do this and that, they will sin. Well, they do it initially. Are you following me here? Because when you eat mango for 5 days and you get mango, you eat the whole bag of mango. Yes, you know what I'm saying? But then after a while, you get fed up with that mango. You realize, I am not a mango. There are other fruits in the garden. Are you understanding me here? You getting the point? Say amen if you get the point. And once your heart is in the right place, the balance will come. Because grace only reveals your heart. Hello? Are you following me? Because if I tell you under grace now, and nobody's forcing you to give. Goodness, he ain't forcing you to give. You see? I get a chance now, I ain't giving, period. What that reveals is that your heart was never in giving in the first place. You give because you're afraid John will come and take you. You're afraid some demon snatch you. You gave out of fear. So what we're doing, we're delivering you out of the fear and bringing you to a normal, functional relationship. Say amen. You know what I'm saying? I hope this helps you, because God is trying to deliver us out of dysfunctionality. Hagar is a dysfunctional relationship. And let me tell you something. If you get married, if you get married to Sarah and you still have Hagar in your mind, you could never have a proper relationship with Sarah as long as Hagar is in your spirit. 1, 2, 3. And that is why when we come, we do the marriage vow. We say, and forsaking all others, cleave thee only unto her. The King James Version. Do you, sir, take this woman to be your wife? You take Sarah, you take Christ, and can you be joined to Christ and forsake all others? And everybody say, I do, I did, I don't. But that's what it's all about. You cannot cleave to Sarah unless you leave Hagar. And if you have a relationship in your life that represents a Hagar, a domineering kind of relationship, God calling you, wait. You're supposed to meet me by 4 o'clock. I tell you to meet me by 4 o'clock. He ain't married to you yet, but he determines what happens to your time. You better drop that. You belong to me. Since when are you making people God? You trying to be God. I tell you where they ain't married to you yet. They're trying to tell you what to eat, what to wear, where to go. Listen to me carefully. This is I take my simple advice. Say, bye! Boo-hoo you! Loser! Somebody say amen. Encourage me. Somebody say amen. You young man with black shirt, say amen. You understand what I'm saying? That kind of control is unnatural. Hello? These are little boys. They're not men as yet. Understand? And what determines your manhood is not that little worm between your legs. Understand? What determines your manhood is your character. If you want to know the madness, the boys doing the little worms between their legs, I'll call Erica, she will tell you. Are you understanding me? 1, 2, 3. Say amen, brother. Even if you cannot bring yourself to say amen with all your heart, say amen. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. So don't bring no little boys for me to marry you. If you bring a little boy for me to marry you, I will call you a little girl. Understand me here? I'm very serious. I had enough of that nonsense. Hello? Understand what I'm saying? Say amen, somebody. I'm not moving until you say amen. Say amen. Say amen. Say amen. Say amen. Yeah. Hello? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You following me here? I need to have sex with you. I need to have sex with you. I need to have sex with you. If you cannot control yourself before marriage, you will not be able to control yourself after marriage. Then you've not understood this thing called love. Let me see love demonstrated in your ability to sacrifice. You buy $600 shoe, you're taking the view by Ali's shoe. What are you gonna eat? You're going to buy KFC. You got 5 gold teeth in your mouth. Your drawers hanging on by your knee. And I set up bling and fling. Run from here! Am I right, Sherman? And you see them somebody else take a piece of stick and beat the skin. I can believe that. I'm serious. But I am to offend them. They want to do their own thing with this. I don't care all you want. You under my house. You under my rule. Say amen, share. You know these humans are reluctant to respond. Amen. You are right, Erica, to vet and to screen these young men who are interested in your daughter. You're taking your time to groom this angel. Huh? Amen. This young lady is a special vessel. She is a special vessel. She has been made in the image of God. You understand? Jolene is a gem. I will tell you that in this hour. Come on, put your hands together. Put your hands together. Amen. If any broken foot, half crack, fella interested in you, I will rebuke them with whatever. I'm telling you. All right, so back to reality. Are you with me? Put a value on yourself. You're not Hagar. Amen? So what money have we got? 5 cents. We can't save before we get married. You will save after we get married. You look like a bookshira. Move from here. Say amen. Say I love you, Pastor. Say little hills, I love you. Now let me talk about some things here. Let me talk about what's happening between Abraham. You see, Abraham and Sarah, oh God, have mercy. Let me talk about, let me talk about, remember I told you Abraham's name was Abraham, okay? Sarah's name was Sarai. But what took place, I'm skipping some slides here, okay? You see, the difference between Abraham and Abraham is letter H. The letter H is a R. It is a sound, it is a 5th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and the 5th by number 5 denotes grace. So God takes this grace and he inserts it in the middle of Abraham's name, and he says, I